What's up, you guys? This is J-Young02 back with another video, and in this video today I wanted to briefly discuss the Toronto Raptors. As y'all know, the Toronto Raptors right now, they are one of the most interesting teams in the NBA because, well, you know, looking at them on a paper standpoint, when you look at their roster and you look at the players who they have on their team, there's only really one player on the team that is considered a guy who has been playing over 5 years. And that guy is Thaddeus Young, who's been newly acquired on their team. When you look at this Toronto Raptors team overall, they are loaded. And when I mean loaded, they are loaded for the future. You know, they have their two stars present, of course, in Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam, who I believe both are 27 years old. But when you look at that, those guys are in the midst of their primes, and not only that, but they already have had much experience making deep runs in the playoffs early on in their NBA career. What makes this Raptors team really interesting is that they have several players, I believe 5 players, who are averaging over 15 plus points per game. Fred VanVleet's averaging over 20 points a game. Pascal Siakam's averaging well over 20 points a game. OG Anunoby is averaging good points a game. Gary Trent Jr. is averaging, I believe, 18 points a game. Scotty Barnes as well is another key contributor on this Raptors team. There are many great options for this Raptors team, and when you look at them and going into the playoffs, they are a matchup nightmare. First guy who I really want to talk about like that is Pascal Siakam, and Pascal Siakam lately has been playing out of this world. Over the last 10 games, he's averaging 27.9 points per game, 8 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1.1 steals. He's shooting 54.9% from the field, and he's shooting 47% from 3, and the Raptors have an 8-2 record from that. Pascal Siakam has been playing out of this world, and let's not forget, Pascal Siakam kind of fell off for a while. Many people started really doubting him and his abilities on the basketball court and really establishing his name, but he's really come back and truly rejuvenated himself into one of the league's best players and a guy who can possibly make an All-NBA team this season. When I look at Precious Achiuwa last season on the Miami Heat did not even he only attempted 1 3-pointer the entire season. Now on this Raptors team, we've seen his game really open up in many ways. He's attempting more from the 3-point line, shooting 36% from the field, and he's actually getting just more opportunities to really show his game for the Toronto Raptors. Scotty Barnes, I've made a video already on this guy, but Scotty Barnes is playing like a rookie of the year, especially in his matchup recently against the Cleveland Cavaliers against Evan Mobley, who is another guy who's considered that guy who can possibly win rookie of the year. We saw Scotty Barnes outplay Evan Mobley, no hands question. But you know, another thing about the Raptors, and speaking of teams who are considered in the playoffs, since the Cleveland Cavaliers is a team that is definitely a playoff team, the Toronto Raptors are 11-5 against the top 3 teams from each conference. Now, if that doesn't really say something to you, then I don't know what will, but I'm not really done yet. The Raptors also have a top 15 offense and defense in the NBA, and also this team is loaded. Yeah, they can go more than just 5 men, of course, on their roster. This team is loaded with a variety of different players, and really the Raptors are a very unorthodox team. They basically can break team systems with the different play style of players who they have on their team. I mean, when you look at their starting lineup in general, it's mostly considered of bigger guys. Some of them are very lengthy, and they have a lot of size and versatility that you need really to really be a team that is amazing, especially on the defensive end. But it's really good to see guys like Pascal Siakam as well, who's definitely improved on the playmaking end, which adds another mix for the Raptors in general. The amazing part about all of this as well for the Raptors is that this team is young. You know, this is a very young NBA team. This is a growing NBA team that is literally just last season a team that did not have a record over 500 to now being already a playoff team that is still considered in a quote-unquote rebuilding phase. The Toronto Raptors are the most interesting team in the entire NBA just on the fact that they have the ability to basically construct a roster that is still able to compete on any given night. When you've looked at the Raptors over the last few seasons, what they've literally done has built a consistent model of success. Nick Nurse has really come in as the head coach, and he's really changed the entire game for the Raptors. As we all know, with that versatility offensively and defensively for the Raptors, they are a team that will be a very tough first round matchup for many NBA teams. And to be honest, they weren't really supposed to make it this far. The Raptors were not considered a team that was going to make it this far this season, but somehow, some way they did. I mean, if you look at the lineups, if you look at the numbers across the boards, it really doesn't make sense how, but they made it through, and they're really exceeding all expectations. I mean, their future is very bright. You have a guy in Scotty Barnes who's one day is going to be one of the league's best players, especially on the defensive end of the basketball court. You have Precious Achiuwa, who is growing and becoming an even better player. You have Gary Trent Jr., who is another really solid overall player, a great shooter, great player overall, who's definitely going to make his mark on the Raptors. You have Fred VanVleet, you have Pascal Siakam, two guys already in their prime, playing some of the best basketball you can play right now. You have OG Anunoby. How can I forget him? I haven't even discussed him really much in the video until now. But you have him, and he's another very solid player on this Raptors team that really has improved drastically every single year of his NBA career. I mean, the Raptors, you know, I can end this video off by just literally saying, look, their developmental system is the best in the NBA. This is why they can get the best out of their players, pretty much all their players. This team, they have just a knack for really developing talent fast and just getting them to produce at a very high level, really early on in their NBA careers. I mean, Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam are just pure examples of this. Both these guys were in the G League, and they really found them ways to succeed in the NBA. I mean, look at Norman Powell. Look at all of these guys who are successful now from the Raptors trio of players. I mean, even DeMar DeRozan, heck, for crying out loud. Kyle Lowry, who drastically improved when he was traded to the Raptors. There has been so much success throughout the decade for the Raptors with their development program that now it's just translating to today and the players who they have on their roster now. I haven't really watched all of the Raptors games this season, but from what I've seen and of course what I know in general about the Raptors, well, this team is the most unorthodox team in the entire NBA, and they've built their roster completely different from pretty much every other NBA team. They've used that to their advantage to now be a team that is a force to be reckoned with, and it's going to be a really tough first round and possibly make it to the second round series. I mean, Jason Tatum himself has already said that the Raptors were one of the toughest teams he's had to play against, and I believe that was in the bubble. But I'm going to leave it right there, man. Shout out to the Raptors and what all they are continuing to do, and really getting a jump start already in their rebuilding and making this team a special team that it has many more room to grow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos each and every single week. Have a good day. Peace.